Baseball's regular season is nearly here. But, as is always the case, the injury bug hasn't waited until opening day to feast on some of the game's top players. We have every single MLB injury chronicled here and updated often to let you know who is in or out each night and beyond. But this page will look at the most important injuries in MLB and how they are affecting teams and players moving forward. Notable MLB injuries. Injury, biceps status, on 10-day IL, return timetable unknown. April 1 update, Stanton was placed on the injured list one day after going 0 for 2 with 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. There was no obvious play where he suffered the injury. The Yankees did not announce the severity of the injury nor a timetable for Stanton's return. Injury, shoulder status, on 10-day IL. April 1 update, the team still hasn't set a target date for Kershaw's first start of the season, though he is expected to make a minor league rehab start on Thursday, reports the Los Angeles Times. Injury, shoulder status, on 10-day IL, out until May. March 28 update, Severino recently began throwing from 120 feet, so he's making progress. Injury, calf, ankle status, on 10-day IL, return timetable unknown. April 3 update, Lindor was rehabbing a calf injury when he suffered an acute ankle sprain running the bases. He's since been cleared to resume baseball activities, with an eye on returning in late April or early May. Injury, recovery from Tommy John surgery. Status, won't pitch in 2019, may return as DH in May. March 7 update, the Angels' two-way sensation underwent Tommy John surgery in October. He recently began his post-surgery throwing program, but he won't pitch in 2019. He will, however, resume his role as the Angels' primary DH, possibly as early as May. As MLB.com's Allison Footer reports, Ohtani recently began hitting soft toss, which is an important step forward. Injury, broken index finger status, no timetable as of yet. April 3 update, Turner fractured his finger after being hit by a ball on a bunt attempt. He left the game immediately afterward. So far, no timetable has been provided. Injury, shoulder status, on 10-day IL, out until at least May. March 8 update, Martinez was shut down earlier this spring because of discomfort in his throwing shoulder. He received a PRP injection in late February and could resume throwing inside of a week. He's not likely to be ready by opening day, but his progress suggests that he could return soon after that. Injury, shoulder status, on 10-day IL, return timetable unknown. March 29 update, Polanco underwent labrum surgery last September, which required him to start the regular season on the injured list. Polanco saw action in AAA on March 28. View profile. Injury, shoulder status, on 10-day IL, could miss up to a month. April 4 update, the Pirates placed Dickerson on the IL with a posterior strain to his right shoulder. Injury, heel status, on IL, expected to play this season. Feb. 15 updates. Last summer, the Mets outfielder underwent surgery on both heels, so the recovery process has been a methodical one. There's no clear timetable for his return, and this point the only guide is BicepsStatus' mid-February statement that he believes he will return to the active roster at some point in 2019. Earlier that same month, Mets GM Brodie Van Wagenen indicated that the team probably wouldn't have a time frame for BicepsStatus' return until after the regular season begins. Injury, elbow status, on 10-day IL, until at least early April. April 1 update, Foltynewicz's right elbow soreness appears not to be a serious ailment, but he was unable to recover in time for opening day. Foltynewicz is expected to make a AAA rehab start on April 4 in hopes of returning to the bigs later in the month. Injury, foot status, on 10-day IL, out until at least early May. March 8 update, on Tuesday, Sano had surgery on a laceration to his lower Achilles area of his right ankle. The injury took place in January, but the Twins elected to get more aggressive in the treatment. The Twins knew the injury took place in the Dominican Republic but were reportedly surprised as to the severity once Sano arrived in camp. Sano isn't expected to begin baseball activity until the middle of April, per Chief Baseball Officer Derek Falvey, MLB.com. Injury, knee status, on 10-day IL, out until at least mid-April. April 3 update, Sabathia began the season on the active roster to serve a 5-game suspension. He's expected to join the Yankees rotation during their next homestand. Injury, back status, on 10-day ill, out until at least early April. April 1st update, Hicks began the season on the injured list due to a lower back injury suffered in early March. Hicks, who signed a 7-year extension in the offseason, has yet to resume baseball activities, but is hopeful of a return in April. Injury, shoulder status, on 10-day ill, return timetable unknown. March 28 update, Betances joins the growing list of Yankees to begin the season on the injured list. He's been shut down and prescribed anti-inflammatory medication. Betances was able to throw a bullpen session on March 25. The right-handed setup man does not have a clear recovery timetable. Injury, shoulder status, on 10-day ill, out until at least mid-April. March 29 update, Jeffers is dealing with right shoulder inflammation. He threw an inning in extended spring training and is expected to throw again on Tuesday. Could return by mid-April. Injury, toe status, on 10-day ill, out until at least June. March 29 update, Upton sustained a left big toe sprain late in spring training and opened the season on the ill retroactive to March 25. He's expected to miss 8 to 12 weeks of action. Injury, elbow status, on 10-day ill, return timetable unknown. March 29 update, Heaney, who is dealing with left elbow inflammation, is expected to undergo an MRI on April 1. Injury, hand status, on 60-day ill, out until at least June. March 29 update, Seager is working his way back from left-hand surgery in March and is not expected to swing a bat until May. He is expected to be out until possibly June. Injury, knee status, on 10-day ill. April 1 update, Pedroia, who has been sidelined due to left knee inflammation, is expected to start a Class A rehab assignment on April 4 and could be activated by April 9. Injury, recovering from October 2018 Tommy John surgery. Status, on 10-day ill, out until at least June. March 29 update, began throwing and taking dry swings in March. Could return at some point in June. Out for the 2019 season.